It's over. You know that. You've said it. You've told yourself to move on. But somehow, it still lives in you. The past doesn't always stay where it belongs. Sometimes it loops, it echoes, it slips into your thoughts when you're trying to sleep. It hijacks your emotions without warning. You're not choosing to relive it. You're not holding on out of weakness. You're holding on because something inside you still doesn't feel finished. Maybe it's the apology you never got. Or the closure you never found. Maybe it's the way you betrayed yourself to stay close to someone, or the way someone left before you were ready. There's a difference between remembering and reliving. Remembering is natural. Reliving is a sign that part of you is still waiting. Waiting for a different ending. Waiting for the pain to make sense. Waiting for time to feel like enough. But here's the hard truth. Time doesn't heal everything. It dulls things. It softens edges. But the wounds that go unprocessed, they don't just fade. They bury themselves deeper. They show up in patterns, in overreactions, in relationships that feel too familiar. Letting go isn't just about forgetting. It's about grieving. It's about accepting that what happened can't be changed, and that it's okay to feel something about it anyway. Because sometimes what keeps the past alive is the belief that you shouldn't still care, that you should be over it, that strong people move on quickly and cleanly. But healing doesn't work like that. You don't walk away from emotional history without carrying a few things, and pretending you're fine doesn't mean you are. So if you're wondering why you can't let go, maybe ask yourself, what part of me still feels unheard? What part still needs permission to mourn? What part is still waiting for someone to say, that should never have happened to you? You're not stuck because you're dramatic. You're stuck because some part of your pain still needs to be seen, not dismissed, not rushed, seen. And once you let that part speak, you might find the grip loosens, not all at once, not overnight, but slowly, quietly, like a weight you forgot you were carrying finally slipping off your shoulders. Regret is a powerful anchor. It keeps pulling you back, whispering all the things you should have done differently. I shouldn't have said that. I should have seen it coming. I should have walked away sooner. But regret doesn't change the past. It only rewrites it over and over in your head, each time with a slightly better version of you. A version that knew more, spoke up sooner, made the perfect choice at the perfect time. That version didn't exist, because you were doing the best you could with what you knew back then. And still, you replay it, trying to edit the story in hindsight, hoping that if you get the script just right in your mind, the pain will go away. But that's not healing. That's self-punishment. You don't stay stuck in the past because you love the pain. You stay stuck because regret tricks you into thinking you can fix it if you just think about it one more time. And here's what regret never tells you. You were human. You were trying. You were surviving something. You didn't ruin everything. You didn't fail beyond repair. You just lived through something that mattered. And now your brain keeps rewinding, hoping to find a version where the outcome hurts less. But the goal isn't to erase the past. The goal is to make peace with the version of you who lived it. That version may not have had boundaries, or clarity, or courage, but they had a heartbeat, and they got you through. The more compassion you show to your past self, the less power regret has, and the more you accept that there is no perfect version of history, only the version that taught you something. Letting go doesn't mean pretending it didn't happen. It means stopping the cycle of punishment. It means saying, yes, I would do it differently now, but I didn't know that then, and I forgive myself for that. You deserve to move forward. Even if the past still tugs at you, even if the regret still visits, you don't owe your pain a lifetime subscription. You owe yourself the freedom to grow past it. Sometimes the hardest part of letting go isn't the memory itself, it's what that memory gave you, or what it took away. Because when pain lingers long enough, it starts shaping how you see yourself. Not just what happened to you, but who you believe you are because of it. You stop being someone who was hurt and start becoming someone who is broken. You stop being someone who lost something and start becoming someone who never wins. The wound becomes your compass, your filter, your explanation for everything. And in a strange, heartbreaking way, it becomes familiar. It gives you something to hold on to, a reason for the patterns, an identity to wrap around your hurt. Letting go means asking, who am I without this story? And that's terrifying. Because if you've carried this pain for years, if it's shaped your choices, your relationships, your self-image, then letting it go can feel like erasing a part of yourself, even when it hurts, even when it limits you. You might think, if I release this, what's left of me? That's not weakness, that's grief. Grief for the version of you who had to hold this pain just to make sense of things. But you are not your suffering, you are not the betrayal, you are not the chapter where someone left or failed or didn't see your worth. You are who came after. The person who still gets to decide what comes next. The person who is allowed to have a life outside the echo of that moment. It's okay if letting go feels like losing something, because you are. You're losing the version of you that had to carry all of it alone, but in its place, you're making room for softness, for possibility, and for a story that isn't rooted in survival. Letting go doesn't mean you forget, it means you loosen the grip. It means you stop tying your worth to what went wrong. You're still you, even without the pain as proof. Closure is one of the most misunderstood parts of healing. We think we need it to move forward. We wait for it, we hope for it, we build our healing plan around it, like some final word is going to make the pain click into place and finally let go. But real closure doesn't always come in a neat package. Sometimes it doesn't come from the person who hurt you. Sometimes it doesn't come with understanding. Sometimes it doesn't come at all. And that's the hardest part, because you're wired to want answers, to want justice, to want meaning. But healing doesn't wait for permission. It begins the moment you realize you don't have to understand everything to release it. You don't need their apology to forgive. You don't need the full picture to outgrow the story. Sometimes closure looks like saying, I may never know why, but I know it hurt, and I know I'm allowed to stop bleeding from it. Letting go without closure is an act of self-respect. It's saying, I deserve peace, even if the ending wasn't fair. I deserve joy, even if the past still feels unresolved. I deserve love, even if they never saw my worth. That's what makes it so powerful, because it's not dependent on them. It's not dependent on the world making sense. It's a decision you make when you're tired of being stuck in a loop you didn't ask for. It's the moment you decide your future matters more than understanding your past. And it doesn't mean the pain disappears overnight. You'll still have days where the memory stings. You'll still have moments where you wonder what could have been different. But those moments don't define you anymore. They pass. Because you chose to move, even when the path wasn't perfect. Closure is nice, but freedom is yours even without it. So if you've been waiting for the past to let go of you, maybe today is the day you let go of it instead. Not because it didn't matter, but because you do.